4th, 2014. We have only a few weeks left in this year, crazy enough. And I have two amazing women joining me on the call tonight. The first of which is one of my personally sponsored coaches. Her name is Linda Settles. And she has been with me, I think, about 3.5 years now. She's absolutely a little light, and you would never know that she's a mom of two grown boys and that she herself is in her 40s. The girl has like the spirit of a young 20-year-old, and you'll see on the call when you get to meet her how incredibly energetic and amazing she is. I got to spend a week with her at the Bombshell Dynasty retreat about a week and a half ago, and I'm super excited. I know she's a little nervous, but it is her first time hosting a Bombshell Dynasty team call, so please help me in welcoming the incredible Miss Linda Settles.
Hey y'all, can you hear me? Okay, awesome. I am so excited to be here tonight, guys. You have no idea. And like Lindsay said, I am super nervous. To do a big team call like this is definitely something that Amanda and I put on our dream boards back in January, just like a month after we first hooked up as success partners. So this is a huge dream come true. And I can't even tell you, can you hear me now? Everybody hear me okay? Volume good? Okay, good. So anyway, I just can't even tell you how excited I am to do this tonight, but Amanda should be getting on here with us soon too, and she's going to take over the call and do the second half all about success partners. But I really wanted to talk to you guys tonight about running your own race in this business. As Lindsay said, I've been with her for about 3.5 years, and I'm still just a diamond coach. And I'm actually okay with that. And I have to tell you, like, some people really struggle with that as a coach in this business. And we see a lot of people just take off of this business and run with it and go like balls to the wall and crazy and become, multi-star diamond coaches in just a matter of a year or less. And I want to tell you guys, like, everybody has their place in this business. Everybody has their comfort zones that they have to get out of it, and everybody has to run their own race in this business. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about tonight. And I just want to thank you again so much for taking time off out of your busy schedule and your family to get on this call, because that's really important, to join every one of these team calls that you can on Monday nights, because you never know where your aha moment is going to come from. So a little bit about me. I am 43 years old. I definitely have had an entrepreneur spirit pretty much all my life. I never really liked working for anybody else. And as funny as it sounds, I never saw myself as a Ruby. I never believed in myself as a Ruby, knowing that Lindsay Matway was one, until I started really reading the information on that about what Rubies are. But I'm definitely an entrepreneur to the core. And although I haven't ran in this business really fast, one thing about it is I'm also very, very much a sapphire. And if it's not fun, I don't enjoy it, and I will back out of it pretty quick. So one thing I have learned about this business is I absolutely enjoy it. And as long as I keep it fun and exciting and motivating to me, then I will stick with it till the day I die. Like, I absolutely love this business. I have been coaching for 3.5 years. I've been married for 23 years and have two grown kids. They're 22 and 20 years old. And I'm a total introvert. I absolutely love people. I love being around them, but it has to be on my terms and when I'm ready for it. So it's not uncommon for me to run from people that I know in the grocery store if I'm not in the mood to have a conversation. But I absolutely love working the way we do through email and on Facebook, and having connections with people whenever we're ready to do that. So I'll tell you a little bit about my why. And this is one thing that I can tell you for sure, is everybody's why kind of changes throughout this business. And since I've been in it for 3.5 years, it is something that I have. Does anybody else have the sound? Everybody's sound going out? Not quite sure why. Most people sound as good? Okay, good. I'm just going to keep going then. Thank you. All right. So one thing I want to say is everybody's why tends to change in this business. And I was in Lindsay's very first challenge groups. And when I first became a coach, it was after finishing my first 90 days. I did P90X with her. It was actually my second round of it. The first round of it, I lost 20 pounds and I did it completely on my own. But the second time I started looking for a coach and I wanted some accountability. I actually stalked Lindsay for a while. I found her on YouTube, and then I read her blog, and then I started stalking her on Facebook, and then I emailed her, and eventually came around to the idea of joining a challenge group. After going through that challenge group and loving the family atmosphere and how much fun it was to get involved with the other people that were in the groups, it was just something that I absolutely enjoyed, that whole support system, because I didn't really have that at home. My husband wasn't doing it with me. I was getting up at 5:30 in the morning and doing the workouts before I went to work. So to see that support and other people in the group were doing the same thing, it really made a big difference to me. So when I started talking to Lindsay about coaching, it was because I did want the Shakeology. I saw other people were getting the results, and obviously I wanted the discount on it. And she said, well, what about your job, Linda? How would you like, if you're going to be a coach, wouldn't you, she knew what I did for a living. I was cutting hair. And she said, wouldn't you like to do this for a living, be your own boss and quit cutting hair? Well, I owned my own barbershop, actually. At that time, I had owned it for a little over 10 years. And I thought, yeah, that would actually be kind of cool. It wasn't something I ever thought I would ever get out of. I really kind of pictured myself cutting hair until I was 70 years old, because I didn't see any way to get out of debt in that shop. I couldn't cut any more hair than I was cutting, and I didn't want to hire anybody else because I was tired of babysitting other people and trying to provide a living for them as well as for myself. So ultimately, I thought, yeah, that would actually be kind of cool. I'd love to fire my boss, and I'd love to have more financial freedom and live life by design. But I wasn't quite sure if I was capable of that at that time. So we all have to start somewhere. And I apologize that the writing is really kind of small in these, but I'm just going to read it to you anyway. So we all start somewhere. And for me, I joined Beachbody as a coach April 7th of 2011 after weighing some pros and cons. As I said, I am an entrepreneur, and I had to think about it on a monetary sense and how much it would cost and how easy it would be. And was it something that I could actually do while I worked another full-time business? And for me, the pros were, it's a cheap startup cost of a challenge pack and only $15.95 a month for the website and business fees. When I talked to Lindsay about it, it was very important to me that if I was going to grow a team, how was I going to be able to do that while I worked full time? I didn't think I could create my own team training, so I asked her about it. She said, sure, we, as a team, we work together and we share trainings and all that kind of thing. So she was able to provide the team trainings that I could pass on to my team. So obviously, the business was very duplicable and without taking a lot of time. I could actually just copy these things and be able to help my own team grow from top coaches in the business that were already working at full time and doing the things that I didn't personally have the time to commit to myself. So it gave me the motivation to keep working towards my own fitness goals as well, and the ability to build a residual income in my spare time while helping others. Who wouldn't love that? So the cons in the business was I knew that I had to be consistent for my own team and my challengers and dedicate at least 30 minutes a day to my business in order to grow. That was totally doable. I knew that I could do that. Who couldn't dedicate 30 minutes to this business? Not to mention, I did personally end up spending a lot more time in it because I absolutely loved it. I mean, it was just definitely something that became a passion right from the start. And if all of you guys are coaches, chances are you know how easy it is to get obsessed with this business. All right, so basically this all began on April 7th, 2011, turning from a challenger into a coach. So my first paycheck in April 20th, 2011. It was $19.44. And believe it or not, I was absolutely so excited. I was giddy about that $19.44 paycheck. Why? I mean, I don't even know. It was just a matter of I was actually earning money doing something that I absolutely loved, and it was just so much fun. Like I couldn't imagine that I was actually going to get paid to do this. So my biggest paycheck in 2011, working this in my very spare time, I mean, literally, I worked from my cell phone in between haircuts at the barbershop, like texting people, checking into my challenge groups, and inviting other people to join my challenges. But my biggest paycheck in 2011 was a whopping $91.92. And it was the last pay period in 2011. So I know that doesn't sound like much, but for me, it was just extra money, and it was something that I was absolutely having fun doing. I finished out my earnings in 2011, earning $707.81. Ultimately, I learned a lot that year. I went Emerald ASAP by signing up my first Amazing Challenger as a discount coach on one leg and my husband on the other. So in 2012, I began to grow as a leader. My first paycheck was $100. The first paycheck that I earned over $100 was on February 22nd, and it was $143.98. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot to many, but to me, that provided money for my boys to attend wrestling tournaments that I really couldn't afford otherwise. I started looking for others to join my team, and I went diamond in April 25th, 2012. My first paycheck, or my biggest paycheck in 2012 was $365.38. I had a couple of coaches on my team that started to work the business while they were just discount, but most of them were just discount coaches. And I ended the year earning $8,523.13. Yes, I was a turtle in this business. And I absolutely enjoyed every minute of it. That's one thing I can say. So in 2013, I realized I had become too comfortable. Something had to change. Some people will run in this business and some people won't, and that's something that everybody just needs to recognize. It's a numbers game, and you have to keep going because some people are going to be passionate about it and see why you love it, and some people are not going to grasp it like we do. So some will stick with it and do great, and others will not, and you have to learn how to not take that personally, as I did. The one thing I had power over was me and how I ran this business as a coach myself. I knew that if I kept doing the 3 vital behaviors every day, and I would keep building my income no matter what I did. And I did. So just those 3 vital behaviors are so important, everyone. I can't stress anything enough. If you want to grow in this business and you want to become a leader, you have to continually invite others. You have to continually read your personal development, and you have to continually just be a product of the product. So in December, I found a success partner to help push me out of my comfort zone to become a better leader. I did a post in our Dynasty Diamonds group, and I said, look, I am sick and tired of being where I am. I'm stagnant, and I want to grow in this business, but I'm scared. I need somebody who's going to push me out of my comfort zone to do the things that I won't do up until this point. I think maybe my little post had been up, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so, and Amanda Summerall finally commented on it. And I thought, you know how you can see in groups how many people see your post? And I remember seeing like 40 people or so had seen that post and not one person liked or commented on it. And then all of a sudden Amanda commented on it and she said, me, pick me. And we set up a phone call immediately. And next thing you know, we talked on the phone for like 2 hours. It was a partnership made in heaven. So I finished out 2013. Just go into that before I go into the next slide, making $17,110.57. And like I said, that was in my spare time, still doing this in between barbershop customers, in the evenings at home, after wrestling tournaments, all this kind of stuff. So it's definitely a spare time business for me. All right, so in 2014, after meeting Amanda, I invested more time in personal development. I had some major life changes this year, and I managed to keep my business growing through it all, still in my spare time. I have 5 Emerald coaches. I have 151 coaches in my entire downline and 30 personally sponsored coaches. And I can't tell you, I absolutely love every single one of these people. I sold my barbershop. This was a huge dream come true for me because, like I said in the beginning, this wasn't something that I really felt that was that I was possible, that I guess I was capable of. I wasn't sure how much I could grow this business or if I could replace that income that I was making there and still be able to survive on Beachbody and alone. But my passion was in it. My heart was in it. I loved this business. And it was something that the more I did it, the more I actually come to resent working at the barbershop every day. So dream come true. After talking to Amanda, literally every single day, I said, I have to sell this shop. I have to sell this shop. And it took me over a year, just a little over a year of having it listed through a business broker and on Craigslist and on eBay. I finally sold the shop. And seriously, guys, happiest day of my life. Both my sons have moved out. One of them joined the Marines, and I don't know about any of you guys, but that has been an extremely emotional year for me, to say the least, whenever your kid goes away and tells you he's going to join the Marines. So on top of that, we've also remodeled our house. We've been remodeling our house. We completely renovated our kitchen, which we paid for with my Beachbody income. And my biggest paycheck this year on 1 week was $962.10. And to date, this year, I've earned $23,699.34. So super, super excited about that. And it has been just like I said, it's a roller coaster year. I've had a lot going on. And even though I did sell my business in August, I've still been working this business in my spare time, even though I thought, oh, I'll sell the business and the next day I'll go full hog into it. Like I will be working this 99% of the time. Beachbody will be on that. And that just hasn't happened. We've done a lot of traveling and the remodeling, and my house has been a mess. So I've still literally just done it in my spare time. So the big picture is my income went from 2011, $707, 2012 to $8,500. 2013, I earned $17,000, sorry. 2014, I earned a little over $23,000 just so far to date. And that's a grand total as of this past week, pay period. I earned $50,337.36 so far. So I always call myself a turtle on the Bombshell Dynasty team. It's just something that, I don't know, I have this affinity with turtles. I think I was just meant to have a relationship with turtles somehow. I don't know. I have them all over my house, and I'm always the slow one on the Bombshell Dynasty. We have so many other coaches that I know and love dearly, but they grow so fast, and it's easy to get caught up in seeing how other people do their business and it makes people want to quit a lot of times because they don't see themselves as being able to achieve what other people do. So they just fall out so quickly. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to see that literally if you own your business and you take care of it and you run it the way it works for you, then you can still grow no matter what. And whether you earn $25,000 in the first 3 years in this business or you earn $500,000 in the first 3 years in this business, it's your business and it's your $50,000 or your $500,000. So own it and love it and enjoy the process of this business. And if your heart is in it and it's totally here to support other people and bring other people in, you're going to do great. And you're going to you're going to grow no matter what. Just keep going with it and do those 3 vital behaviors every day. So never give up. And even the turtles reach the top of that hill eventually. Always enjoy the journey and always remember why you started. So one thing I learned is to run your own race and get a success partner. We all have busy lives. We all have different distractions, and that's absolutely okay. But it's even better if you have a success partner to help you get through it. So embrace what sets you apart from the crowd. I'm not your typical Bombshell Dynasty coach. I think at 43 years old, I'm one of the older ones, and I kind of enjoy that. I feel like the mama of the crowd. Challenge each other to do things that scare you to death when you get a success partner. When Amanda and I first started, we had that very first call and we talked for 2 hours. I mean, we talked about all the things that we really wanted to do, that we saw other leaders on the Bombshell Dynasty doing. And some of those things like really, like honestly made us want to throw up just talking about it. And one of them was doing this call tonight. Like we were going to host a Bombshell Dynasty call, and oh my God, it made us want to vomit. It was so scary. But, and then another thing was to make a YouTube video. A YouTube video for real? Like you want me to put my face on a video and talk to people? Holy crap. Like that was so freaking scary to me. But I did it. Amanda did it. And the first couple videos were absolutely horrible. And actually sometimes the ones I make now are really bad, but I just put them out there anyway. I'm a one take person. I don't like do editing and all that kind of stuff. What you see is what you get. So that's what I figure. If I attract people for who I am, then that's better. I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be anybody that I'm not. And I just want to be real and just grow the way I am. So it works for me. So anyway, together we are better. And that's what Amanda and I actually run all of our calls together. We run our teams together. We put all of her group, her downline and my downline into one group, and we call it Together We Are Better. And the reason is because teamwork makes the dream work. And since we've done that, like our teams have grown. So many people have, I mean, we all kind of lift each other up. We even take on like stragglers from other teams who don't have good upline support. Like we're kind of the misfit team of the Bombshell Dynasty. And I absolutely love that. Like I want to help everybody who wants to grow in this business. And if your heart is in it and you really want to help other people, then, you know, just do it for you and do it for what makes you feel good and find yourself a success partner. And I am going to turn this call over to Amanda and let her run with it because she has some great tips on finding success partners.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Hello, yay! All right. Oh, I'm so excited. So Linda, I was reading all these comments while you were speaking, and there's a big TWAB representation tonight on the call. So thank you, TWABers, for getting on the call and supporting us. We are really excited. So I have to just calm down for a minute because right before this call started, I decided to restart my computer just to make sure there were no kinks, and it took like 40 minutes for my computer to restart, so I just jumped in the middle of Linda's presentation. So that was a little nerve-wracking. Okay, so I want to, let me move the slide along. So I'm going to talk about what it means to be a success partner, have a success partner, how to find one, everything you need to know about success partners. And first I want to tell you a little bit about myself. So I am 33 years old. I'm a single mom. I have a 9-year-old daughter, Cecilia. I've been officially coaching for about 2 years. I'm a dancer and a dance teacher, tap, ballet, jazz. I'm not that kind of dancer. And I teach little 3- and 4-year-olds tap and ballet. And I'm also a turbo kick instructor. So kind of how I got to Beachbody and how this all started for me. After I had CC about 9 years ago, I was the heaviest I'd ever been. I think I clocked in at the highest was like 220 something after I had her. I was one of the fortunate people who gained weight in the hospital after I had her, gained like 20 pounds. That was exciting. So once I had her, I started walking, trying to exercise. As the years went on, I was very slow in losing the baby weight. Eventually, I started running and lost a lot of weight, but that was really all I knew how to do was run. And then I moved to Alaska with my daughter in 2011, and I ran for a little bit while I was up there, but it's pretty terrifying to run on the ice, even with ice cleats. So that quickly came to a halt, and my exercise regime went out the window, and I was 4,700 miles away from my family, and it was really cold, and I made new friends up there. And one thing we loved to do was drink wine and eat chocolate. So that's, oh, another Kodiak person. Yay, that's where I was. And two of my coaches are on this call that I met in Kodiak. Anyway, so we drank wine and ate chocolate, and I gained a good 40 pounds. Yeah, total squirrel. Gained 40 pounds. And that was really hard. So I moved back here a year later. A friend of mine was doing Insanity, and I saw his 30-day results were impressive enough. He's come a long way since then, but just his 30-day results, that change was really inspiring to me. So I asked, how do I get involved in this? And got hooked up with Brazil Butt Lift. And I knew as a single mom that I needed every discount I could get. So of course I signed up as a discount coach, not knowing what that meant at all. But I went through a few challenge groups. I did Brazil Butt Lift, I did P90X, and then that was in July of 2012. And in November, I lost my job as a recruiter. And so I thought, well, I've got this Beachbody website thing, business thing set up. I wonder if it would actually work if I tried to do it. So I started sending out invitations and started seeing if people wanted to get involved in my 2012 or New Year, New You, 2013 Lean and Mean in 2013, I think that's what I called it, in my challenge group. And all of a sudden everybody wanted to, which happens in January because that's everyone's number one resolution. So I had like 30 people in my challenge group, and my business started taking off, and I was doing really well. And my mom was a discount coach. Somebody else signed up as a discount coach. Boom, I was Emerald. And then I grew a few more Emeralds, and I was Ruby, and then I was Diamond. And by July of 2013, I was 1-star qualifying, and I was so excited. Everything was going great. And then, as happens sometimes, some of my coaches were having things going on in their life, and some of them had to cancel, and all of a sudden I found myself going from 1-star qualifying back to an Emerald coach in just a couple of months, and I was devastated. And it was the only time I thought, maybe I'm not cut out for this, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this, maybe this is a message from the universe that I need to just call it quits now. But I felt in my gut that this is what I was supposed to do. I was born to do this. I was determined. I'm really stubborn. So I refused to let that get to me. I was feeling pretty lost and defeated, but I chose to push through. And that's right about the time that Linda and I became success partners. That was in December of last year. And, there are so many things that have changed since we became success partners. Our team engagements have both been up. Our challenge groups and our trainings are going incredibly well. I have daily support. She pushes me to grow. I push her to grow. My overall attitude and confidence and self-belief in leading a team and in being a coach has skyrocketed. I know that I'm a leader instead of just feeling like, I think I can do this. I'm pretty sure I actually can do this. No, I know I can do this. And I didn't have that attitude before. And then of course my income has increased. So I want to go over how to get this whole success partnership going, because I think it's really important for people. When you're working your own business, it can be very solitary because we sit behind a computer and we talk to people through the computer all the time, and sometimes we get out and do it, but sometimes you need to have that feeling of having a partner doing it with you. So I want to go over a few things. What is a success partner? What do I look for in a success partner? How do I find a success partner? And what should I do as a success partner? And that last one is key, because a lot of people match up and have a success partner, but maybe, and maybe you're expecting them to do something for you, but you really have to be a good success partner. You both have to do that. So that's going to be a really important one for me to talk to you about. Okay, so the first part, what is a success partner? Essentially, it's an accountability partner, but it can be so much more. And these are the things I think about Linda, and I think a lot of people that have good, strong success partnerships find these things to be true. It's a friend, a co-brainstormer, a pusher, a motivator, a cheerleader, a co-leader in your trainings and challenge groups, a confidant, but most importantly, it is an accountability partner. Just as you're holding your challengers accountable in your challenge groups, your success partner holds you accountable to your goals in your business. So what to look for in a success partner? Rank, goals, personality, skills, and pace. So when you're looking for a success partner, you can, ideally you want to choose somebody who's close to your rank. It doesn't seem ideal to have a brand new coach success partners with a 10-star diamond, because you have different goals. You're at a completely different place in your business, and it makes more sense for you to find somebody who's close to where you are. Your goals, your long-term goals really should be similar. Linda and I, now let me clarify this. Linda's long-term goal was to fire her boss, which is herself, and to sell her barbershop. And my long-term goal was to get out of my 4-generation household. I was living with my daughter, me, my mom, and my grandmother. We were all living in a house together, and I needed to get the heck out and be on my own, and that was my drive. So we didn't necessarily have to have the same goal, but we both had to have goals that were strong enough. The personality and skills of your success partner should be similar to yours, but also be complementary to yours. So while Linda and I are both very sapphire ruby personalities, we both have strengths and weaknesses that we pick up where the other person lacks. And I think that's really key. If you both have the same strengths, it's you're going to have something missing if that weak part of you isn't fulfilled by your success partner. So if you look for somebody who kind of balances you out, who picks up where you're lacking, that's helpful. The pace of your success partner should match yours. I know you've heard Lindsay talk about this before, and a lot of other leaders talk about this. We have runners in this business, we have walkers, we have crawlers. You want to make sure that your pace is the same as your success partner. If you want to make this work, you want to have a successful business, and your success partner's like, oh, I just kind of want to do it, on my spare time and just help friends and family when they ask. I don't really want to talk about it. I'll be here if they need me. That's not going to work. If you're going to run, your success partner needs to run, whether it's in your spare time or it's full time, but your pace needs to be the same. It's really important to have that solid, very clear why, because when you have a rough day or a rough week, and we all have them, oops, I don't know what's happening. My slides are going all over. Okay. When you have a really clear why, and you share that with your success partner, and you have that rough day, that's what they're going to remind you about. So if Linda was having a rough day, and I would say, I hear you, but you need to sell your barbershop. You need to sell your barbershop. That's your goal. Do whatever you have to do. Pick yourself up. Keep going. You're going to sell a barbershop. And she would do the same thing for me. If I was kind of having down and needed a kick in the pants, she'd remind me of my why. So it's important that you have those whys. And your drive needs to be to success, both of you. You cannot have a wishy-washy drive and a hardcore driver. You have to both really be driven to be successful. So your success partner is someone who will be supportive, through life's ups and downs. Linda and I have pushed through a lot of lows and highs this year to help each other out. There have been, between the two of us, we'd have sicknesses, moves, funerals, vacations, bad days, and we cover for one another. Linda was mentioning earlier that we have our group of twabbers together, and our Together We Are Better, we call them twabbers. But my coach group was really stagnant. Her coach group was pretty stagnant. And we decided a few months after we became success partners just to marry those groups into one. And because we found that we were just kind of posting in each other's groups when we needed help, we needed the other one to help us out. So it helped to just put those together. But we really covered for one another. If it was our days to post in in a training group or in a challenge group, and the other one needed to cover for a few days, it just really helps. So it's like having a business partner to help you out. So a success partner is also someone who will brainstorm with you. You're going to come up with challenge group ideas, giveaways, new post ideas on how to attract new business, new coach trainings. You're going to write new coach trainings together. So you're going to do things together. You want to have somebody who will brainstorm with you. But most importantly is someone who will hold you accountable to your goals. You're going to see that accountable word a lot. So how do I find a success partner? What we did in our TWAB group was we had them kind of write like a match.com of success partner profile. And it was like, you know, I'm an introvert, I'm an emerald personality, I want to make this business go forward. These are my strengths. These are my weaknesses. I'm looking for somebody who has these qualities. And so it's kind of like it felt like a dating profile, but it's kind of what it is. It's essentially like you're dating. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but that's what we had them do. And a lot of people got matched up in our group. If you're having trouble finding a success partner, all you have to do is ask. You can ask your upline coach to help find you somebody because they know you, they know your personality, they know your work ethic, and they know the personalities and work ethics of other people on your team, and they might be able to match you up. If you have your team coaching group, you can post in there that you're looking for a success partner, but always include, you know, what kind of a little bit about your personality, what your strengths and weaknesses are, and what your goals are. Those three things are really important. You can post in the Bombshell Dynasty if somebody wants to create a success partner file in there or something. Otherwise, it'll just be all over the place. But, you know, or look for somebody in the Bombshell Dynasty, and as you see them posting and you're kind of learning their personality, ask them if they have a success partner, if they'd like one. Other coaching groups. The thing is, you don't have to have a coach that's in the Bombshell Dynasty as your success partner. I have a couple of coaches in my downline who have friends that happen to be coaches. They're not on our team, but they are good friends with them. Why would they not pair up with somebody who they're already good friends with? Now, I might get a little slack for this one, but I don't necessarily believe in having your direct upline or your direct downline as a success partner. And let me explain why real quick before I get jumped on. Number one, if one of my downlines was my success partner and I was really slacking off in my business, it's not my downline's responsibility to give me the kick in the pants I need to keep going. I'm their coach. I should be a mentor. I should be a role model for them. It's also not good for me to push them to advance in rank so that I can get my, star diamond. It's not fair for me to push my success partner for her goal of getting diamond if it's going to end up affecting me to be 1 star, because then it kind of will turn into a selfish push where I'm not pushing her to meet her goals, but I'm pushing her so that I will advance. So I do have a couple coaches in my downline who have that upline downline success partner relationship, and I've already explained to them why I don't necessarily agree with it. It's up to you guys individually, but in my opinion, I would stay away from that. Okay, so here's really, I think, the most important thing is, what should you do as a success partner? Being a success partner is, success partnership's a two-way street. You can't just be supportive of someone else and not get something in return. And in the same way, you can't just expect them to always support you and not support them back. It has to be equal. It has to be two ways, or it will not work. And Linda may have mentioned this before I got on the call earlier. We both had tried out with a few other success partners before we found each other, and it just didn't work out. We didn't mesh well with the other people, or it was very one-sided, or for whatever reason it wasn't working. It has to be a two-way street. So the first thing you need to do is, make your dream board and then share it with your success partner. Really tell them, show them what your dream board is, tell them about your dreams, tell them why they're important to you. And just a note about dream boards, they should make you want to throw up, because if you, I know that sounds weird, but if you are in a place where you're very comfortable with everything that's on your dream board and you're like, yeah, this is totally doable, I'm going to do this, I'm going to kick butt next year, and I'm going to check all 10 of these things off my list, I got this, I feel really good, then you're probably not really going outside your comfort zone. But if you have some crazy goal, like hosting a Bombshell Dynasty call that made us both want to throw up, hosting a call on YouTube, we have hosting a national wake-up call on our dream boards for next year. I mean, things that we at this point feel like are so impossible, and they're so far outside our comfort zone that we just want to get sick. That's where you should be. You should always, your goals should always make you want to throw up. So do that. Share your dream board with your success partner. Number 2 is meet or talk at least once a week. Linda and I talk multiple times a day. We probably, it's a good thing we have unlimited minutes, because we would have a hell of a phone bill. But we are on the phone or texting or messaging each other all the time, setting goals. We have weekly goals, monthly goals, annual goals. We are checking in to make sure we checked off those goals. We're discussing plans and new ideas. What's our next challenge group going to be? How are we going to market for that? What should our posts be leading up to that? And if I have a good idea, I share it with her. If she has a good idea, she shares it with me. And number 3, make sure you're doing what it takes every time you talk to move your business forward. Make sure your success partner is doing their 3 vital behaviors. Make sure you're doing your 3 vital behaviors, because it's really easy for us to just say, yeah, the 3 vital behaviors are really important. But if Linda calls me and she's like, you're stressing out, you're having a rough day, have you read your personal development today? And she's going to call me out on that. And that's what I need sometimes, because you don't just always do them all the time unless you're really good at that, which we aren't all really good at all of them. I'm not. And constantly check your goals off your list. You don't want to have the same goals week after week after week, and they're not getting checked off, and they're not moving forward. You need that success partner sometimes to push you, to make sure you check those off. When I was married back in the day before I got divorced, my maid of honor, every week we would have a talk before the wedding, and instead of just giving me like a to-do list for the week and having her to-do list, she would write it out and send it to me, and she put Amanda's promises, Sarah's promises. So like we had to do them. We couldn't not do them because they were promises. And that's kind of what you should do in setting your goals each week and then following up next week. Did you fulfill all your promises? So really, really the key and the whole essence of having a success partner is that accountability, is to push your business forward. Because just like if you aren't in a challenge group and you're supposed to be doing your workout and you miss 3 days and nobody knows you're supposed to be doing that workout, you're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to feel bad about it. You just kind of, slide across the room and nobody knows you missed it. But if you have a challenge group you're in and people are going, hey, Amanda, why aren't you posting? Did you do your workout today? I didn't hear from you yesterday. I didn't hear from you today. Same thing like a success partner. They're going to make sure that you are hitting those goals, that you're doing what you need to do, and that you're moving your business forward. And I just threw a bunch of pictures of us together on here, but really it's about what you can do with a success partner. The 2 grids of 9 pictures each, Linda and I last week were struggling to get our workouts in. So we decided we're going to do the same workout at the same time. We're going to take selfies while we're doing our workouts to make sure that we're both still moving, because sometimes even those 30 minutes, you just can't get through it. So that was really helpful. We shared that. We did a what does it mean to be a coach opportunity call together. That's the one she was talking about. We did last January. We laughed almost the whole way through that first call. It was awful, but we were so nervous. We just, couldn't stop laughing, but we did it. We have our little high five, from Greensboro to Jacksonville, success partners working out at 5 in the morning. We do our challenge group posts together. So really you can gain so much more than just an accountability partner with having a success partner. You can gain a friend, you gain, she's like the sister I never had. So it's done more for my business than I can say, but it's also done a great thing for me because I've gained an amazing friend out of this. So that's everything that I wanted to tell you about success partners. So if you don't have one, go get one. If you're having a hard time with your success partnership, talk it out with your success partner. If it's not going to work, find a new one. That's okay. You want to find somebody that's going to work with. All All right, Lindsay, I'm going to turn it back.
Well, dang. I am super blown away. You guys did awesome. And I think it was really, really needed information. Linda, I think it was brilliant to share the other side, to show people that you can, with consistency, no matter if you are a tortoise or a hare, that you can succeed with this business and you can have it change your life. And I think that's really important for people to grasp, because I think a lot of times, you're right, we only share those extreme success stories and it seems so unrelatable and so unattainable. And I think you're proof that if you stay consistent, you stay with this, it is possible that it's able to change your life. And I think it's interesting because for some reason in this business, people do expect like that instant success. And I don't really understand why, but 4 years in this business, anybody who sticks with it and is consistent with the basics is going to be making 20, 30, 40, even $50,000 4 or 5 years in, if not beyond that. And if you keep going, the same kind of duplication is going to happen. And what other job can you do that and work part-time? Not many. So I think it's pretty darn cool what you've done, and I am so excited for your future. And I thought it was really cool to share about what Amanda shared with Success Partners. A lot of times when I've tried to organize Success Partners for people, what's happened is exactly what Amanda said. People want to know, what is that person going to do for me, and how can I get the highest ranking person ever to be my success partner? And I think what she said is very, very poignant. You want to find someone who is close to where you are and is headed where you want to go and has the same kind of ambition and excitement about the business as you do. And I think it's important that you guys date around. Don't marry the first person you come into contact with. Get to know that person. Set up a phone call. And if you gel, you gel. If you don't, it's not like you have to break up with them. It's not like you're going to kick them to the curb forever. It's just you're not going to work that closely together. You might work in groups of 4 or 5. I've seen some groups that I have of my coaches that have 5 or 6 of them that work on and off together. And sometimes that works better. So you have to find the right style for you, but you also have to be bold enough to ask. And I'm not saying ask them on a date, a success partner. Just say, hey, I noticed that you're in the business. What are some of your goals? Where are you at in your business? And where do you want to take this? And then if you kind of gel with the whole goal thing, say, hey, would you ever be willing to get on a Zoom call? Maybe set up one next week sometime and just see if you guys click. And I think taking that step, you being the bold one, stepping out of your comfort zone and asking is what it takes to find that right person. It took Linda asking on that wall in the Dynasty wall, looking for someone. And she found Amanda that way. And little by little, their relationship has grown. So be bold. Don't be afraid to ask people and step outside your comfort zone. I was reading a book recently that said you need 4 things. You need someone who is above you, who is going to shorten your learning curve. That's your upline sponsor, that whether that be the person that directly sponsored you or whether that be me. You have someone who is going to show you the way and help you to avoid stumbling all the ways that we stumbled. I'm going to help you to take shortcuts and teach you things from my own experience. And then you have someone who is where you're at, they're level with you. That's your success partner. And that person's going to cheer you on, and they're going to hold you accountable to your goals, and they're going to push you. And then you're going to have the person that actually you're going to be lifting up. That's the people below you, the people that are less experienced than you, and you're going to be that mentor to them the same way that your mentor has been that mentor to you. And that's your team. That's the people that you're bringing on as challengers. And then lastly, that 4th piece is your cheerleading squad, which is your team. That's this right here, this team call, where you have people that are as excited about your success as you are, that are fighting for you, that are willing to stand up for you, and that want you to succeed. And I think when I read this book, which this book had nothing to do with network marketing, it had nothing to do with Beachbody, it was actually a faith-based book, but I said, oh my gosh, that's exactly what we have. And I think if you get those 4 pieces in alignment, you'll see that success is so much more joyous. It's so much more easy to attain. And it just get you in this flow and you start to push forward in your life. So as we're going into a fresh new year in a few weeks, you have an opportunity to find those people. You should all be in the mindset of setting goals right now. You have an opportunity to go into 2015 and create the life that you want. So become clear on what you're trying to create and why you're trying to create it. Get as specific as possible. We're going to do a call here in a couple weeks on goal setting, and we're going to talk about vision boards and how they've impacted my life and how they've impacted a lot of leaders and being able to achieve their goals and really define what those things are. So start to think about that. What do you want your life to look like a year from now? Maybe write out a little bit and post it publicly and say, hey, I'm looking for someone who wants something similar to this. And if you are, I'm looking for a success partner, and I'd be willing to jump on a call and see if we, click and are willing to do the same thing. So anyway, I'll end it here. I appreciate you all being on. Thank you so much to both Linda and Amanda. You were incredible. I cannot believe that was your first time. You did amazing. And thank you all so much for being on Monday night, and we'll talk to you soon. Oh, the book is You Were Made for a God-Sized Dream by Holly Girth. It's an amazing book, so definitely go out and get it. All right, guys, see you next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Talk to you soon.